here to promote his tell-all book, I Won the Aggro Crag on Nickelodeon Guts So Now What? Here is Gary the Bullet Basil.
Because I have a lot of these books to sell. And by a lot, I mean all of them. Hi guys, I'm Gary the Bullet Basil. I am broke and very unemployed. And you know, if you have money to buy my book, I won the Aggro Crag on Nickelodeon Guts So Now What? That'd be awesome. They're only $80 a piece. It's a bit of a, I mean, it's a deal, right? I'm giving them away. And you know, and yeah, you can see the cover up there. It's a really lively cover. And you know, it'd be great if you bought it. I could really use a job. The last chapter of the book actually is my resume. You'll notice, the first thing you'll notice on my resume is I've never attended college, and that's because they did not have scholarships for bungee cord basketball, which quite frankly is bullshit. You know, it's a tragedy what happened to me. On October 17th, 1992, after an incredible display of bungee cord and trampoline athletic prowess, I then proceeded to successfully climb the Aggro Crag and won an episode and won the whole TV show in what a newspaper later described as an episode of Guts. And you know, and it sucks because I feel like I'm this unsung American hero. You know, like, you know, yeah, here I am, unemployed and broke, and it's kind of a shame. I've auditioned for other obstacle shows like, you know, Ninja Warrior and Wipeout and the Titan games, but I didn't make the cut. You know, I get it. Having an athlete of my caliber is kind of intimidating to the other competitors. You know, and you know, they don't want to have a ringer in the show. I understand. It's cool, but you know, I had to write this book to try to support myself, but also to like you know, to tell my story. And it's you know, it's got a lot of really cool trivia, Nickelodeon trivia, like Mike O'Malley's home address. That's in the book. Chapter 147 is about this one time I snuck onto the set of Salute Your Shorts to ask out the girl that played Dana, and I got beaten nearly to the inch of my life by Budnick and Donkey Lips. There's a chapter about how I was introduced to PCP by the Temple Guards from Legends of the Hidden Temple. And there's an extended chapter after that about a incredible conversation I had about the mysteries and secrets of the universe with Olmec. It's amazing. And you know, just for like $80. And you know, needless to say, I'm having trouble pushing this book. I self-published this book during a brief but bitter stint working at the Federal Express store. I probably should have. I mean, yes, I probably should have just made it an e-book, but I don't know the web. I even sent a few. I sent a free copy to my mom, and she sent it back with a post-it note that just said no. I wish I could have sent one to my dad, but he left my home at an early age, and I've never known him. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of tragic actually, but we won't go into that. You know, it's fine. It's fine because I've gone through my whole life with people not believing in me, but I believe in me, and that's all I needed to win the Aggro Crag and Guts in 1992. And a lot of people don't know this. It's in this book, and I'm going to read the chapter about it. But I actually won the Aggro Crag with a broken neck. Yeah. So I'm going to read that chapter entitled Broke Neck Mountain. Right now. So, reluctantly crouched at the starting line, engines pumping and thumping in time. The green light flashes, the flags go up, churning and burning, they yearn for the cup. Or in this case, the Aggro Crag trophy. You may be thinking, aren't those the lyrics to He's Going to Distance by Cake? The answer is yes, but it's okay that I used them here because, as we all know, the song was inspired by the story you're about to read. I should also mention that Miley Cyrus would later go on to write a song about me called The Climb, but I digress. The Nickelodeon producers and the show's host, Mike O'Malley, begged me not to compete after I broke my neck during the moon race event, in which the competitors raced around the track while jumping with moon shoes on. I had underestimated the springiness of the shoes and the strength of my calves and bounced way too high and slammed into a steel beam high in the Extreme Arena's ceiling. My neck cracked like a bundle of fresh asparagus. It hurt. It hurt like a bitch. Long afterwards, at the hospital, doctors were baffled and stunned while looking at my x-rays, discovering that my neck bone had been completely severed from the rest of my body. How I had been able to compete or maintain locomotion or be alive while in such a state still has the best medical minds gobsmacked to this day. And that's right. That's the second time in one night you heard someone use the word gobsmacked. Nevertheless, there I was, at the foot of the mountain, looking at my destiny at its peak, while holding my head with both hands to keep it lolling about like a marionette, as I was, for all intents and purposes, without a functioning neck to do the job. I remember it felt like a moment frozen in time before the tranquility was shattered by Mo, the referee's whistle, signaling the start of the race. We instantly began scrambling up the crag, racing to the first actuator, which are a series of checkpoints along the face of the mountain that we all had to reach in order to qualify for victory. The first actuator was easy enough to reach, but after that, it got tricky. Midway through the climb, large rocks were released down the mountain in order to simulate a rock slide. People watching at home think that they are harmless foam rocks, but I'm here to tell you that they are very real. Very dense, jagged pieces of stone that can cave your head in if you're not careful. As Mike O'Malley warned us off camera before the event, quote, "The Aggro Crag does not fuck around." The rocks missed me, but the kid next to me in purple, Kevin the iguana, Applewood, he was not so lucky. A large rock hit him square in the face, splattering it as if someone had dropped a bowling ball into warm cherry pie. It's not funny, guys. He really got hurt. I remember seeing him fall off the crag before being swallowed by the ever-present fog that smothered the fake mountain, which was in actuality tear gas designed to simulate the difficulty of breathing at great heights. A replacement boy in purple was quickly dispatched by the producers to take his place. Because as they say, the show must go on. Let me tell you, this boy climbed like he had a rocket up his ass. Meanwhile, my other rival in blue on the complete opposite side of the mountain to me, a girl named Patty the Pepsi Pippin, was impossibly far ahead of both of us, already having reached the last leg of the Aggro Crag, which is simply a vertical rock climb. Thankfully, the Pepsi was having difficulty ascending the wall, which bought me enough valuable time to catch up. However, when I reached the rock wall, I hit a snag, an Aggro Crag snag. How could I possibly free up my hands enough to climb this thing while also keeping my stupid head from dangling about my shoulders like a broken-ass Stretch Armstrong? I had no time to think. I just had to go for it. So with a leap, I grabbed the first two handholds with both hands as my head horrifically fell backwards and hung off my torso like a slinky. It was a strange, almost kind of detached feeling, seeing the arena and everyone stretched out 29 feet below me while still climbing upward. I spotted the referee Mo throwing up at the horrific sight of my injury advertising its severity so graphically on national television. But I didn't let that deter me. It was as if my body was in automatic as I skittered up the rock face, finally reaching the top and pressing the final actuator button to signify my victory. Or so I thought. Only it wasn't my victory. As I reoriented my head, I saw Patty the Pepsi, Pippin, already standing there looking smug in her triumph. To say I was heartbroken would be a massive understatement. It seemed like an eternity before replacement Kevin Applewood finally made it to the summit. I was wallowing in my failure before hearing Mo make an announcement I was not expecting, which set the arena ablaze with scandal. She announced that Patty the Pepsi had been disqualified due to missing one of the checkpoints, thereby making me the official winner of the event and the overall first place champion. Casey, yeah! Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, I have a whole, the next chapter is about my, the victory ceremony where I was given this piece of the Aggro Crag, but it's 42 pages long, mostly due to all my tangents about NATO. The point is, as it stands, one of my proudest moments is that I will, it's one of my proudest moments, and I will never part with this trophy, despite the fact that they later found out that all of these Aggro Crag pieces are highly irradiated. A lot of the former winners of Guts have tragically died of cancer or radiation poisoning. You guys don't have anything to worry about. Low-term, short-term exposure like this only results in impotence and being unable to have children. So you're fine. You'll be fine. But seriously, the knowledge that so many of my Guts compatriots are dropping like irradiated flies makes me think perhaps none of us ever left the Aggro Crag. That's where we're all still making that climb, and if I just ignore the blood in my stool long enough to wait for the rest of my former Guts champions to fall off the Aggro Crag of life, eventually I'll be on the top again, where I belong. Thank you.
Truly inspired.